I kind of wish that we could specialize, like when you press the button to broadcast, and it says, "Are you ready?" Like, I wish we could personalize it so it could be like DX. So it could be like a picture of Triple H's face. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Bum bum.
Right, exactly. Do like a DX theme with the audio waves going across. Yeah, that's me doing audio waves, by the way. That and really bad twirling of pasta.
No, I like it. We'll go with audio waves.
Yeah. I would love if we could personalize that, but StreamYard doesn't allow that yet.
And I mean, it's not like the viewing, listening public could see it.
That's true. What's up, dog?
Hey.
How you doing? So we're gonna try not to get blocked this week. I guess this is really kind of up to Ballz, and if Ballz is gonna behave himself or not.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, because last week some would say that was my doing.
But I brought it up. I did.
You brought it up, but then I found the content, and then I put it on the show. It's now my turn. I'm doing the content for the most part today, so you may just like interrupt with some sort of feed that we shouldn't be showing.
Because I have the ability to look up feeds. Let's be honest.
Actually, you do have the ability to share your screen now. Now, I think I have to allow it still, but now you could actually pull up something in a tab in another browser, and you could offer me the chance to accept it and show it.
I was like, looking at the options I have, I do not see this. So if it's something you need to approve.
I don't know, because I'm very rarely on that side of this program to really be able to know. But supposedly, I went through a little tutorial that said my guests can share screens now. So learn how to do it.
I do see a button that says share now that I open the settings.
Yeah, that would probably be it. Yeah. But we're gonna try not to get. If you have no idea what we're talking about, last week we showed a 2-minute and 28-second clip of a wrestler doing a promo on an after show.
Yeah,
and we got dinged pretty quickly.
Really quickly.
For that, with that, which actually Facebook pulled it right away from the Mo Lightning and the Wrestling Audio page. YouTube was tricky. YouTube took it off of the Mo Lightning page right away. But then Wrestling Audio kept it for a few hours.
Oh, nice.
So I don't really know how that worked, but that's why we actually got dinged. I had to then edit the video to repost it. I think I only put it on YouTube. I think I was too lazy to put it on Facebook. I don't know. But it's still in podcast form. So if you actually want to hear the promo, WrestlingAudio.com.
Right there.
Yeah. Nathan says if you did share your screen, it's just going to be wrestling figure crotches.
I've been studying.
I bet. So, like, we do the Guess the Groin segment, and you're a single dude, so I assume that you actually probably have action figure porn on your computer.
I don't. I'm going to assume that's a thing I could find, but no, I don't have that on my computer.
I was going to say, do you think we would get dinged for that?
I don't know if we'd get dinged, but I think we'd get a lot of raised eyebrows and a lot of, what are these guys doing?
We get that anyway.
Yeah, I know, but there'd be a whole nother level of that.
Yeah, whatever happens, there's no such thing as bad press, right?
We keep saying that.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that. The industries that are dying, like mine, they always say that.
Yeah.
Sup, dog?
Hey, John.
Yeah. All right, so we do have Fastlane predictions to get to later on in the show, so everybody sit tight.
Yeah.
I know you can't wait. I know. But we're going to get to Fastlane eventually. All right, everybody? So just relax. But in the meantime, I do want to do 6 things on my mind, but I want to do it a little bit different than I normally do.
Okay.
I want to switch it up this time around. I want to add visual aids.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is actually a meme that I sent you earlier, but allows us to kind of cover a few topics all at once.
Yeah. I like it.
Let everybody soak it in for a moment. All right, so this image is from The Passion of the Christ from years ago.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson directed it. That was what, Jim Caviezel?
Yeah.
Caviezel, I don't remember. I don't know his name, but
that's close enough. Yeah.
I like how casual it is. It's like, hey, what are you doing for dinner tonight? But this is so appropriate. Like whoever first thought of this before everybody else copycatted it was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The first one I saw, actually, I think the Hurricane Shane Helms, reshared it. And it wasn't exactly like this, but it was just saying Adam Cole explaining to Britt that he also had a rough night. So obviously, if you watch the shows, one live, one DVR'd, if you flip back and forth, you know they both had a pretty eventful show, but I think it's fair to say Britt won the night.
Britt won the night, for sure, yeah.
Did you watch that match?
I did.
And what did you think?
I thought it was a great match. I was surprised that Thunder Rosa actually won, that they had her get the victory over Britt Baker. But damn, when Britt poured thumbtacks, I was like, oh, damn. Mm-hmm. All right, this is going to get – it's already on like a level. Like, okay, we're going to go a little bit more hardcore. Okay. And then she just took back first into the thumbtacks. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
She Britt continues to take the title of face of the women's division in AEW. Seriously, she obviously is taking the opportunity, doing everything she can with it. But we need somebody else to step up. Thunder Rosa is great, but again, where's the rest of this division going to come? I mean, great historic night, shows that the women are truly badasses, really in all companies, but now in AEW as well. But we need more than those two people to step up.
Because this technically should be the blow-off. Like, unless they escalate it even further, Britt is the true MVP. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, this should be the blow-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I like this. We got a lot on the screen right now.
We do.
Yeah, I like it. But great match. People raving about it. Of course, Adam Cole on the NXT side of things. Was he the one nearly hit by a car? Or did he nearly hit Kyle with the car?
No, he was nearly hit by the car.
Okay.
From Kyle O'Reilly, yeah.
That's what I thought. I was struggling to stay awake, not because of NXT or AEW not being entertaining. It's been a long day. I was tired, so I hopped in the shower, and I wanted to make sure I was there for the main events. And I missed the backstage stuff with Adam Cole in the car.
Yeah.
But I also thought that was so funny, the Kyle O'Reilly video promo saying, I know where you hang out. I know where you buy your video games. And like, he didn't say, I know where you eat. I know where you buy your video games.
It's a whole nother level of personal. Because Adam just needs to come on and go, I download all my content. Like,
well, or we need to follow up with this, that, this feud is brought to you by Best Buy. I don't know. Like,
really, it brought to you by Up Up Down Down. Like, Adam's a big part of Up Up Down Down, and
I'll say this there needs to be some sort of correlation. If you're going to bring that up, then as Adam Cole's trying to game on Up Up Down Down, Kyle O'Reilly smacks him with the chair.
And there's never a question of how did Kyle get in his house?
Just
nothing. Just nope.
And then whoever Adam's taking on, if it's Xavier, if it's Kofi, if it's AJ, if it's somebody else, just laughing at him like, I beat you, man. I beat you. Yeah, don't make excuses. You lost. Joe Avino. What's going on, buddy? I don't like how you were put first, but that's okay. That's fine. Whatever.
It's how Joe rolls. It's fine.
Yeah, it says that Layla Hirsch will fit in well.
I think so.
I mean, optimistically, sure, you're absolutely right, but we'll find out there. But I want to continue on with AEW real quick. So the second thing on my mind, All Onion Wrestling.
Okay.
Is it? I mean, I could switch the screen so like our faces are fatter, but I just kind of like leaning like this.
Oh no, I'm comfy like this. Yeah, this is fine.
And I got a little bit more of an orange tint. You got the blue tint, so we got complementary colors going on. This is something.
We do.
All right, so AEW this week has a lot of layers, like an onion.
There are a lot of layers.
AO dub. Come on, someone chant with me. AO dub.
I'm not doing it, and
somebody else had to though.
Maybe.
Somebody. We got a handful of people watching. Somebody had to chant with me there. So I love this. Like, people love the cut and dry feuds. in pro wrestling. That it's one-on-one or team against team. Like they like it very. Can you guys put more on the screen? I can still see you both. Well, sorry.
Believe me, this is not that comfy.
Yeah. So I'm fine. I got something to lean on. I'm good.
Change position. Okay, there we go.
Not all the graphics are this large, but some of them are. Yeah.
Good. Now I'm prepared.
You need to be able to see the onion, though, in all onion wrestling.
No, I get it.
A-O-Dub. Wait. A-O-Dub. A-O-Dub. All right. So I like that you had Sting and Darby Allin come out. Then you got Vance Archer wants a piece. But then Team Taz comes out, and Taz is kind of like, hey, you ain't done with us yet. And then Brian Cage is like, you know what? I still respect you, Sting. You're still the icon. And then Taz is like, what the F?
What the F? Yeah.
But like, there's so many layers to this where it's not just one-on-one, feud's over, time to move on. You know, it's like it all mingles, weaves with one another. I love it.
No, that's fantastic. I think that's the best part. We've talked about it before where, you know, it's a locker room full of people. You shouldn't necessarily be fighting the same just one-on-one all the time. Like you're going to have disagreements with more than one person at the same time. You're going to get along with more than one person at the same time. So it makes sense to have this kind of stuff pop up. Yeah.
And I mean, Ballz could get in trouble at work. It's not just one person mad at him. It's everybody mad at him.
It's everybody. It's true. And
that's like real life right there. So I like
everyone's mad at me. Yep.
Yeah.
It's factual.
Okay. All right. All right, fine. We'll move on to the next something here. Actually, we will take this off screen because John has a question about Sasha trying to get released to move to AEW. I think it was probably just something in the past that she tried to do for contracts, just kind of like, hey, I know my worth.
When she disappeared from TV for a couple months, I think that was her trying to sit out, even if she claimed AEW or whatever. I think she was testing waters. You know, she filmed The Mandalorian. Like there was, I don't know. I'm not necessarily she wanted a better contract offer, but she wanted better storylines, something. And I'm sure everyone is using AEW as a contract negotiation tactic. Absolutely. Yeah. Whether they have any intention of actually going there or not.
And John continues on not only layers internally with AEW, but Impact and NJ, New Japan Pro Wrestling. You're right. You're absolutely right with Christian Cage coming in saying, hey, I'm gunning for you, Omega, but I know there's people in front of me. I'll work my way up. And I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Layers.
Yeah.
So Brian says that the biggest story out of NXT last night was not Adam Cole, baby, which I disagree with. He almost hit my car. But no, Danny Burch came out with a separated shoulder. The thing is, like, if they would have known during the match and he wasn't able to finish, or they're like, okay, let's just go ahead, hot shot the titles to the two main event challengers.
Yeah.
Initially, I would have been upset because that's actually really why I wanted to stay up last night, because I'm like, no. And they're not going to do that, are they? That two feuding stars are going to become tag champ? No, you're not going to do. And not they did. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But now with this, if the separated shoulders are going to take them out for a bit,
I mean the only bright side is that they are in a faction technically, so you could maybe bring in Pete Dunne he called out every other technical wrestler, but maybe this takes priority at this point, or even. Friggin' Pat McAfee comes back to team with Lorcan. I mean, there are things you can do and still keep them as the champ.
Yeah. I mean, in pro wrestling, this wouldn't be the first time that they've brought up and started a storyline and then they just kind of reel it back and like, what was that? Huh?
It's not the first time we'll talk about tonight that a storyline starts and then gets reeled back.
You are correct, sir. Oh, wait. Correct. Or whatever the annoying duo do. So with that said, one more thing with the whole AEW relationship with Impact and New Japan. Kind of like that. Kind of covers you up. Rich Swann is our new Impact champion.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to try something different, have some fun with the graphics today.
No, it's good. No.
And Rich Swann is very much a swan.
He is. He's the Swan Prince, apparently.
I don't think I knew anybody, personally anyway, that actually called Rich Swann to win the unified titles.
No, I nor did I, really. But
so initially I'm thinking, well, it's to probably protect Moose. So this way Moose doesn't become a champion and then quickly lose it to Kenny Omega, possibly. Rich takes that fall.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought. But now something was mentioned to me about maybe a swerve coming with Don Callis. With Cyrus the Virus, if you will.
Ooh.
That, he's talking about being a project of Rich Swann. Rich Swann was a project of his. I supported you. I had your back. And it's nothing personal. But, Omega is, what did he say? Like a god.
He's the god of pro wrestling. Yeah.
Right. But what if all of this was to show that Impact is superior to AEW? If this was him sliding in, and then all of a sudden now the Impact stars have all the AEW gold.
That would be crazy.
It's pro wrestling, so.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's definitely potential there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Just an interesting choice. Good for him. Again, I thought he wasn't going to get it because of him being a WWE cast-off.
Yeah.
But he's earned it. I mean, the guy's worked his ass off and has overcome a lot of obstacles to get where he's at. So I'm happy for him. So happy I put an animal face over him.
I think potentially Rich Swann, Kenny Omega, to me, would be a more exciting match than Moose, Kenny Omega. But I totally thought Moose was going to win, but I'm looking forward to this Rich Swann now.
Yeah, athletically. I mean, Moose is good,
yes,
but Swann and Omega probably have more of the same skill set to be able to mesh, but Omega's good. He can work with anyone. Omega's so good, he's worked with nobody and had a good match.
It's true.
He's wrestled an 8-year-old girl once?
Yeah, I think so.
That video is so great. I watch it every so often just because I'm like, this guy is good. It really is good. All right. So let's move over to some WWE stuff, although this could intercede with AEW.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, I can kind of sit back up now.
Where in the world, wrestling entertainment, is Andrade San Diego? But then I have him looking like Where's Waldo because I didn't want to do the whole Carmen San Diego. I'm mixing a couple of them together, okay?
Carmen San Diego would have totally just blocked most of our screen. Just a giant hat.
Which people probably would have been happy about that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Hi, Kyle from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, like exactly that one. Yeah. So Andrade confirming that he wants out, that he requested his release, that WWE has denied the release. And we'll see what happens. Do you think this was a serious ploy to get out, or do you think this was a, hey, pay attention to me?
Oh, that's a good. I didn't really think of the hey, pay attention to me part until you just said that. The picture is the best, really, because he looks just so. No, I thought it was a ploy. I mean, a ploy to legit get out because he's just not doing anything. And like I see people online talking about how they have the right to use and not use Andrade as they want to. I mean, he's under contract.
Yeah.
And he's getting paid to not do anything, but there are certain people that don't want to be paid to not do anything. Like they want to be on TV, they want to be in matches, they want to put themselves out there. They want to be a part of something. And I don't know. I think I'm sure he's unhappy not being used.
But then you realize who he's engaged to.
Are they? They are engaged, aren't they?
Yeah.
But and that was my thing where you said, "Hey, pay attention to me." Do you really think they're not paying attention to him just simply based on who he's engaged to? Like,
well, they just may not have anything for him. But look at Sasha. Sasha's a great example of somebody who wanted to take her ball and go home, wanted to leave, go elsewhere because she knew her value. So maybe this is the case because it was successful for her. She was able to get what she wanted out of it. Now you're going to start seeing some other stars maybe And then especially when you're engaged to the top star in the female division.
No, totally.
You know, like they've supposedly even pitched ideas for the two of them to be on TV together, and that's been shot down.
Yeah, and they keep getting shot down, which really surprises me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think at some point they'd be like, oh, well, whatever, make Charlotte happy. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. If this is real, if this is legit, I'm always going to commend anybody who thinks they have so much more to offer. And if they're not getting that opportunity where they're at, by any means necessary, if you need to move forward, do what you got to do. So I'm going to respect that if this is legit from him or anybody. If you think you're worth more, go for it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think, let's say he is legitimately trying to get out,
mm-hmm.
will he find success elsewhere in American promotions?
You said American promotions.
He was a huge star in Mexico before WWE grabbed him. So he goes back, he's going to be a huge star again. But I think people, for the most part, are going to expect a jump to AEW, a jump to TNA or Impact, maybe Ring of Honor. So will he find that success he's looking for there?
I think everyone immediately goes AEW. I don't know that you would think, I mean, Ring of Honor, probably not. An Impact, maybe, but I would see him maybe going to New Japan and you know, putting in work over there, but I just don't know. Yes, I could see him in AEW. I mean, at this point, I could probably see pretty much anyone there, but their roster is at this point kind of just as bloated as WWE's is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know that, you know, he's going to come in and not necessarily steal a spot, but it's just another guy who, you know, can wrestle, but, you know, how are his mics? Can he really succeed in AEW? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily fully agree with the comparisons, but Booker T on his podcast this week talking about how AEW is really starting to go into WCW territory and pulling in these stars, giving them a creative control. And then the younger stars working their ass off for like, wait, why did you just give that spot to them when I'm here? And that's his concern. That's Booker T's concern for AEW, that they're going to really get there. And he also said TNA did the same thing. So I mean, like, he compared them to both of those companies. So maybe he's onto something. Like we've mentioned that concern many times. When everybody has creative control, who do you say no to? Yeah,
exactly.
So I think at this point, AEW kind of needs to slow down a little bit, be very picky with who they bring in. Andrade is going to be an amazing star, talent-wise, in the ring, no matter where he goes, but character. Unless they're bringing a Thea Trinidad, a Zelina Vega in with him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nathan says he'd like to see if he went back to NXT.
And that's, I've heard that he's asked for that. Like, that's been part of the deal too. And it's funny who they let go and who they don't.
Why is that scrolling? Stop scrolling. All right.
Okay, more importantly, why is it them?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That was odd. So John brings up the shirt, the Young Buck segment, the leg slaps. And a lot of people like that. I mean, it's one of those blink you miss it sort of moments.
Yeah.
And it was funny. You know, anytime you could take those little playful jabs at one another. Did you see Drew McIntyre's interview talking about the leg slaps?
You know what? I didn't.
So he went on to explain that the leg slaps were just getting to the point where a lot of stars weren't hiding them very well.
Yeah.
And it's not that WWE is against them, but it's just that if you're going to do it, you need to be a bit more subtle about it.
Yeah.
And so he said, if he's just going to knock the Miz over, and Miz is a smaller guy, and he's going to do the Claymore kick on the Miz, he doesn't need that extra impactful. But you notice later in the show when he did the impact, we did the Claymore kick on Lashley.
Yeah.
That was back. And so he said it's because if you're trying to sell momentum, if you're trying to sell that impact and velocity, then it seems like WWE is actually okay with the leg slaps.
As long as you're not blatant and obvious. Yeah.
And you probably just got a lot of young stars in the system that don't think about it. Yeah. So, well, that's just what you do. That's just the sound you need.
Yeah.
and not think about the actual visual behind it.
Yeah, and now everything's HD. Everything is multiple camera angles. So stuff you could get away for even on the indies, you can't get away for now because there's an angle for everything. You never know which angle they're showing at that time.
And there's a lot of people doing these kicks, these super kicks that require it, and just maybe this is a way to tell some of the younger stars, okay, think of some different moves.
Stop kicking people.
There's a lot of super kicks out there right now. Go back to stomping or vertebraking, whatever.
Bring back the vertebraker just so you don't kick people.
Yeah. There's actually not much about Raw that I really want to cover. And SmackDown, we're going to get like the enforcer for the championship match, but I don't think it's really going to matter for our predictions. But I do want to say this is the perfect way for Shane McMahon to get heel heat. How many of us as kids wanted to get slimed?
That's true.
We wanted to get on Nickelodeon. We wanted to be on Double Dare.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to reach up that nose, grab the flag.
Oh, yeah.
Pass it to our friend or family member, win the competition,
Because you got to choose the physical challenge. There's no other way. Yeah.
But none of us got to, right? I mean, no.
A very small portion of us.
Right. And you probably had to be like in California for it and everything.
Yeah.
So what better way to do it is like, oh, I'm Shane McMahon. I have control of the slime.
Importantly,
it makes me jealous.
Why are there buckets of slime under the ring?
So our friend, WWE artist Rob Schamberger, asked that question.
Yes, I know. It's what I was going to bring to. Yeah.
And I don't remember which referee it was.
Yeah.
But there was one of the referees that responded with, "Oh, it's lubricant."
Yeah, it's like
turnbuckle lubricant.
Turnbuckle lubricant. Yeah.
Which because as Schamberger said, the kendo sticks make sense because they can actually use them to tighten the ring posts.
Yeah. You use them to tighten the ropes, which I'm like, I don't know if it's a thing, but
it is a thing.
It's out there, so I like it. Yeah.
I mean, they also use wrenches for that too, but
whatever.
They can. But the slime, that's
turnbuckle lubricant. I like it.
Yeah. Raw was hot garbage, more of a guts guy. Yes. That Mo, magnifique. Sideline reporter.
My favorite Mo.
Yeah, understandably so. I also like Legends of the Hidden Temple. Like, I liked all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can like Falcon and Winter Soldier this weekend and Justice League.
It's true. It is. You're capable of liking all of it at once. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is an interesting twist to this feud. If they go all Nickelodeon, I'm in. I'm in.
Oh man. If they show up in like bike helmets and like different colored T-shirts with like they're the purple monkeys, and Shane McMahon's like the green dollar bills, and like
they get little teams. He brings back the
Nicholas,
Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, Shane gets the Mean Street Posse. Braun brings back Nicholas, the 10-year-old tag team champion.
Yeah, I'm watching the AEW women's match right now. Holy shit.
Yes.
And you're watching us.
That's the correct answer for watching that match.
Right. There we go. I'm fighting you. All right.
Then I blade around.
Oh, good idea.
Crimson Mask.
I don't have a
okay, so WWE.
Another good one.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah.
Maybe they should do a different show every week. So this was Double Dare this week.
Yeah.
Or you can't say that on television. We're not quite sure both of them had slime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could be the Kids' Choice Awards for all we know. Slime. Yeah, if they go again at WrestleMania 37, make it a slime. Why the hell not?
Why not at this point? Yeah.
Why not? Nick made NFL games better, so why not wrestling? You're absolutely right.
100% factual.
I love the little end zone and the little splash. Oh, it's so good.
And not only that, but the commentators explained football to kids and also people that don't normally watch football, which I thought was fantastic.
It really was.
Like, it was really a cool thing. Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to go back and rewind a little bit and go back to basics because not everybody is necessarily a super fan.
Yes.
And then finally, of course, we have to talk about Molly Holly made it into the WWE Hall of Fame, or will be making it into the Hall of Fame, which we talked about how great that is. This one confuses me a little bit. I'm not really quite sure why Bischoff is getting into the Hall of Fame?
I mean,
Garrett Bischoff was not really that much of a big deal.
No,
so why is he now in the Hall of Fame?
He's big on the indie scene now. I think he's just there for. I mean, let's be honest. If Trump, Coco Beware, Kid Rock, any of those people, Garrett Bischoff can get in.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he did have a good run, but that was in the other company. Impact has aces and eights. I don't like. It's just.
It's honestly, it's probably because he looks stellar in a leather vest.
That's true.
He carries that well. That's true.
He does. So I guess he's Hall of Fame worthy.
That's what I'd say.
I would think his dad, Eric Bischoff, should get in before him, though.
You'd think so, but what do we know?
Nothing, apparently. Yeah. So congratulations to Garrett Bischoff, apparently.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Maybe does Eric induct him?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. So congratulations to Eric there, the aces and eights rub, which is probably something completely different than what you're talking about. And I've heard stories from Devon. That's probably something completely different, buddy. We don't want to get blocked again this week on the show. No, not this week. All right, so that's all I had. That's my 6 things there. What'd you think with all the graphics?
Oh, I like it. No, graphics are fun, definitely. I do have. Speaking of All Onion Wrestling, I do have a comment about AEW I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
So I was reading on some post something about -1, and the person who posted it was really upset that AEW is abusing and using -1 as part of the Dark Order, and how he's like, they shouldn't do that. They're taking advantage of a kid, and it's gotten to the point that his mother, Brody, Brody's wife, is, Brody's wife, also Brody's mom, depending on which Brody you're talking about, has gotten to the point that you're wrong. Basically saying that you'd never see him in an actual storyline. He's literally just there hanging out with the Dark Order. This week, like he said, he tried to volunteer for a match, and they're like, no, so I don't get the part where, really, they're just letting the kid hang out and live his best life and really, really help him through a traumatic experience.
Yeah. Also
giving his mom some support and, also help through a pretty traumatic event. And I just think people need to chill with, the most he does right now is walk with Taya Conti to the ring. And he was escorting.
And that's going to help him grow up.
Yes. He was doing the same thing for Anna Jay before she got hurt. Taya Conti's not even in Dark Order. And
good gig. Do you think I could pass for -1? Throw on that mask. Hey, everybody.
Hey. No, I just think I read it and I was like, man, you're taking it too seriously when you think that's a thing.
I want more -1 on commentary. Yes, that was good. Recreate Omega's match with the 8-year-old with -1. -1 youngest champ in history. Well, for about a year, and then Vince McMahon would find a way to give it to Aurora Rose Helmsley or something.
Yep, exactly.
So I agree with you. I want to preface by saying I agree with you with everything you said there. But looking out for a child's well-being, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, only because you see how many child stars grow up with their parents accepting of all of this, much like Brody's surviving wife or his widow. Right. So maybe that's where the concern comes in, because so many of them get so messed up for the rest of their lives that maybe he's just worried about going down that path. Or maybe this person that complained about it, does he know a lot about pro wrestling? Is it more of just he's just seeing a child star? Probably.
It could be. You never know. But I read it, I'm just like, man, really? Kid, have fun. Who cares?
No, I agree. I think if they were doing more with him, if he was getting a bit more physical in there, or or requiring him to show up, or requiring him to do more commentary or then maybe he's onto something. But
when you read about it, he's allowed to go to the show every other week. Mm-hmm. He has to do his homework. He has to keep his grades up. Damn, all right. This is a legit thing. He has a there's wrestlers in the back that help him with his schoolwork. Like, it's a huge family thing, and just.
But then you also keep in mind the stereotype of pro wrestling and the former backstage etiquette, where there was a lot more hard drugs being done, a lot more partying. So it's kind of hard to escape that stigma and that stereotype that people probably still believe about backstage and wrestling, not realizing how much video games there are back there now.
How many people are just playing PlayStation?
Yeah, or playing on their phone.
Yeah.
Nate here brings up a good point. Dominic turned out okay after Eddie's death. So
it's true.
Eddie's son Dominic, yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Yeah, they're doing it right, it seems. At least on the outside looking in, everybody seems happy with it. But being concerned for a kid in an adult atmosphere, that's never a bad thing.
No.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to toss it over to you. Yeah. I asked you to gather the huge card for Sunday's Fastlane pay-per-view.
Massive, monumental, and extremely important card for Fastlane.
This will be the last one on the WWE Network. This craptacular card that they're like,
whoa. We
got WrestleMania in just a couple ticks of the clock.
Yeah.
But we got to do something for this show.
Yeah. No, this is hey, some of this stuff might matter, maybe. That's the biggest question. Does any of this stuff actually impact WrestleMania? We'll see.
Probably not, but you're right. Yeah.
Let's go with the one that I think means the absolute least at this point, and that is Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. A match that we predicted would be like opening night WrestleMania. It's not even that. It's like non-main event Fastlane.
I mean, because now we already know that it's Drew and Lashley.
Yeah, like if this was a winner competes against Lashley match at WrestleMania, there'd be some stakes. There'd be some.
You still know who's winning, or at least you knew with the outcome of that one. Yeah. But you're right. At least there would be a weight behind it. So unless Sheamus is going to massacre, Drew, or Drew can't walk. Leave the arena on his own. That's the only way that I can think of to make this have any sort of weight.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I'm not thinking like we can try.
Mr. Weaver, you are a charmer.
So like the only thing I could think of, and basically along the lines of what you said, is that Sheamus wins so dramatically that it turns the pay-per-view into WrestleMania into a triple threat. But not knowing that ahead of time, you don't really know there's any weight behind it. It's not like, hey, if you win this, you get added to the title match.
So, and anybody is welcome to argue with me on this one. If you throw Daniel Bryan into Edge and Roman Reigns, I like that match more.
Yeah.
And that's just me. People may disagree. You put Sheamus in on Drew and Lashley, I don't like that more.
I like it less. No, I see what you're saying.
And maybe you just like it less on both sides of it. But, Daniel Bryan, I think, makes sense. Sheamus and Drew make sense. But Sheamus mixing in with Lashley, not so much.
Yeah, I don't think Sheamus, the storylines with Sheamus and Lashley involved don't have a lot of interaction. So I don't see that. But so are you picking Drew or are you picking Sheamus to win?
Yeah, I think Drew needs to get that momentum back. I mean, last we saw him on pay-per-view, he was losing that belt.
Yeah.
It wasn't his doing. It was all of the odds against him, but he needs to get some momentum back before WrestleMania. So I agree with that.
No, for sure.
Brian agrees with me. He would love the triple threat of Edge, Bryan, and Roman.
For sure. Okay, let's do this.
There's a good question from Casimir real quick. Who has their Peacock subscription already?
Technically I do, but I still have my network subscription too. So I had Peacock originally. So
I had the free one, but I haven't logged in for so long, and I'm ashamed of myself. I have not watched the new Saved by the Bell yet, and I'm such a bad Saved by the Bell fan. How dare I? But anyway,
right? I know.
But now I get it through my cable. So it's like, do I have to create a new login or is it automatically login? I'm not quite sure. Like HBO Max is just automatically, I just pull it up through Xfinity and HBO Max just shows up. I don't really have to log in or anything, I don't think. Maybe I did once and then never again.
Then never again, yeah. No.
Yeah. But I have not canceled my network yet, no.
No. All right, so I don't even know how to promote this match. Like, it's how do you do this, especially in WWE, who is not a fan of intergender wrestling. Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss.
Well, Randy is allowed to attack women, so he's the exception. I mean,
it's in his contract.
Yeah, he signed a contract a long time ago. Said, "Hey, it's automatic if you stick with the free version." Yeah, but I want all this stuff behind the paywall.
Right? Because I assume WWE Network is behind the paywall.
Some of it, not all of it. I think the pay-per-views probably. Sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm only going to watch the pay-per-views anyway. So this is where the Fiend returns, I think.
I would hope so.
Otherwise, I don't know how you get a wrestling match out of this.
No. And, there was stuff about, Alexa basically saying this is the way to kick him out of, kick Alexa out of his life. Which to me just brings up like the punt kick that he does. Like, oh my God, is he going to punt kick?
You can punt the evil out of her.
You punt the evil right out. It's like a witch.
You're literally going to see it like come out like an exorcist,
Just bad WWE CGI.
Special effects, the CGI that they put, the overlays. Oh my God.
Just like a weird 3D Slimer effect coming out. Like,
wait. Slime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This match brought to you by Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife.
Or brought to you by Nickelodeon.
Yes.
But they were teasing, as in Alexa and the voices in her head were teasing that Randy Orton's going to have to go through and relive all of his, I don't know, worst moments or something. So it makes you wonder, are we going to get another Firefly Funhouse match?
Basically, it's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so
Alexa's playground match, except for he's just on a swing the entire time.
He stopped caring about the Fiend's return. I like the character. I like the uniqueness. I just want a consistency, and I don't want him to be like Roman Reigns and unbeatable. I don't want him to be super Fiend and just,
It's the same thing with Finn Balor's Demon, where, once the Demon comes out, you're not supposed to be able to beat the Demon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Fiend makes too many appearances to really be that, invulnerable.
You got a prediction that Orton wins and then sets up a Firefly Funhouse match at Mania. I don't know if this is going to have a winner and loser, to be honest with you.
I don't think it will. I think we're going to get a Fiend return, and it will set up WrestleMania for sure. But I don't think he's literally pinning Alexa to the mat or anything like that.
Well, if we do have to pick a winner and loser, I am going to pick Alexa to win, though. That means because the lights go out or that siren, that screech sound hits.
True.
And then you see Randy Orton's laid out or something, and the lights come back on. Alexa covers them. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. And then all the aftermath.
The Thunderdome on fire. I don't know.
Well, that's really the punishment Randy Orton gets for burning a man alive. Like, he killed a man.
Eventually, Randy Orton's going to have to lose because he keeps pushing all the veterans, all the stars out of the company.
It's true. That is true. I would actually, if there's a winner and loser, I'd have to go with Alexa too. There's literally no way you see him RKO Alexa Bliss and just pin her.
Well, you never know. It's Orton.
You never know. But man, I'm gonna say I would have to say I don't see that happening.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be interesting. That's actually of all the matches, that one might be one of them I'm most interested in, just because I want to see where they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not saying much because it's not a very big card, though.
No. 5 matches. Here we go. Intercontinental Championship. Big E, your current champion, against Apollo Crews, who's apparently now a Nigerian prince.
So those emails were real.
Yep. Yeah. Those were all from Apollo.
Son of a bitch. I could have become like a millionaire.
A long time ago. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. I think I'm still getting some of those spam messages.
Wow.
No, the new one I noticed is going around is unemployment benefits.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very legit looking email going around saying, "Oh, you have unclaimed unemployment benefits." Da da da. And I'm like, this is really good. I'm not on unemployment, but this is really good.
What's funny is they're actually claiming unemployment for people,
mm-hmm.
and then because that honestly, my dad got that. My dad's retired, working like kind of part time.
Working
yeah, and they're like. So he got this thing in the mail with like legit numbers and everything from the actual unemployment office. And he's like, this isn't a thing. I'm not on unemployment. And they're like, no, it's a scam. Someone signed you up in the hopes that they would get your unemployment benefits. I was like, damn.
I don't even know if they signed anybody up. I think it's just they found random names.
For sure.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there's multiple ways for all the scams to work. Yeah.
I actually thought this too. Any coincidence that the Apollo character change was made the day Coming to America 2 came out on Amazon?
I don't think so. I think it was like a week or two ahead of time, but that would have been amazing.
No, give them about 2 years. They'll then know that Coming to America is actually released. I mean, that's the thing. Like they haven't realized, the writing team hasn't realized that movie's out yet.
No, they haven't.
So pure coincidence there. I think Big E wins. This one to retain. I like Apollo's new direction. I like the new attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they necessarily go with it, but I don't think Big E's dropping the belt to move up yet. So,
and that's the thing. Like, what do you do? How number one, how many times does Apollo get the challenge for this title? I feel like I think we're probably at like 5 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses, does he keep coming for the Intercontinental Championship? I just don't know. Yeah. And I mean,
I don't know.
Do you think we get at least one title change before Mania? Because if we do, it's probably this one. So I'm
maybe tag belts.
Maybe tag belts
on the SmackDown side of things, but I don't know.
But yet we don't have that. That's not a match at Fastlane, so I don't know.
Well, not yet.
Not yet, for sure.
We only got 5 matches and nothing announced for the pre-show.
Yes.
Yeah. So who knows what we're going to get there, but. You're right. I mean, if the belt is going to change to at least give some sort of credence to some of these shows before WrestleMania, a mid card's fine, but just setting up I don't know. I think we're going to get a multi-man match. I think we're going to get Big E ladder match, something.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania for that title, possibly. I just don't think Mr. Uhaa Nation is going to get it.
Now, kind of related to this. Is there a reason you think the New Day won the Raw tag titles again?
I think they want more star power on the show. And the New Day, like them or not, tired of them or not, they are name value. And they're like, okay, they're probably still trying to piece together a lot of this WrestleMania card.
Probably.
And they're like, okay, we need to get the New Day on somewhere. And we also need to get AJ Styles on somewhere.
Right, yeah.
And I think they're like, okay, and that's why they immediately made that match. Like, okay, we got something for AJ. We have the appeal of this tall freak of nature, this building of a man, making his wrestling debut.
Yeah.
Or at least WWE wrestling debut. So they got that. You got the team that you enjoy cheering in the New Day. You know, it sucks for the Hurt business, but I don't know. I think they're all probably they're either going to be a part of a battle royal, the Andre the Giant, if they do that this year, or they're just there to support Bobby Lashley in the main event. And that kind of sucks, but Shelton and Cedric or the New Day, who's probably a stronger name to promote for WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The New Day, absolutely. Promo value, absolutely.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether they want to go with it. We don't know the outcome, so maybe it is AJ and Omos that ends up winning the belts. They don't want heels pinning heels. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't say there's necessarily no reason, because when you're trying to sell tickets and you're trying to then promote, like, people have to realize you're moving over to Peacock. You probably got a lot of potential new eyes on the product that the New Day's not necessarily a household name. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but they're definitely more so than the Hurt Business.
I was going to say they're more so than the Hurt Business, yeah.
So again, could you have added more teams? Probably, but
yeah,
and they're going to do what they're going to do. I don't know.
I'm saying technically you still can. There's obviously plenty of time before Mania for things to change.
You can, but if you keep it a one-on-one tag team match, you might allow more AJ Styles time.
Yeah.
And AJ is a star. And none of us are going to complain about more AJ in the ring. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was thinking adding more would eliminate less almost time.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The opposite is also less AJ time. So, no, I can see totally.
And it sucks. Not everybody can get a high-profile singles match every year.
Yeah.
Even with 2 days of WrestleMania, AJ's, if they would try to move him into something right now, it'd be forced.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be right.
Yeah. So I think that's why, but I guess we'll see.
Okay. Speaking of tag matches, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, champion Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.
Again?
Yep.
I hope they, at this point, just let Nia and Shayna retain.
I mean, they have to, right? Like, unless you're going to give it to, and not that they wouldn't, give it to Sasha and Bianca and then have them lose it a week from now, 2 weeks from now. But
where did you pull the list? Was it from a random site or was it from WWE.com?
WWE.com.
Because Brian says that only 4 matches are listed.
WWE lists there's 5. And then
I haven't checked, so I don't know. But
but yeah, Braun and Shane is not one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
It is. No, yeah. I was just on WWE.com an hour ago pulling this before we started. So
right.
But yeah.
Sasha and Bianca, I think this has got to be where the implosion hits. I mean, they're trash talking. They're having fun with the little subtle shots at one another, or not so subtle shots, but you need the heat there. And Sasha turning on Bianca or whatever, that's got to do it. He says he thinks it's they're going to win the titles. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah.
Actually, if this was last pay-per-view, I wouldn't have minded it.
Yeah, because then there would have been time for them to lose it at Fastlane or whatever.
And even then, you got Nia and Shayna building up against Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose on Raw, and I mean, you got some women's tag teams that are kind of forming. Lana and Naomi are actually a pretty decent team together. So I think you just go that route and let Bianca and Sasha focus on the title.
No, I agree. The one title, yeah. Sasha's title, yeah. No, I agree. And then the final match that we have announced for Fastlane so far is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan.
Which is probably the match I am looking forward to most. I mentioned Alexa and Orton intrigues me, but when it comes to actually wrestling matches, this one's got a lot of this one's got a lot of potential.
Do you think it goes better than the Elimination Chamber? Where
there'll be I'm hoping Daniel Bryan is a little more energetic this time.
Gets more offense.
Yeah.
No.
But I can't see him winning it, obviously. I can't see him winning that title. Roman and Edge is your announced main event right now.
Yeah.
If Bryan gets added to it, even better. But then this is going to kind of have to be, this is where we're going to see how creative they can be. Are they going to try to move him in? Because if they don't move Daniel Bryan into this match at WrestleMania, what does he do?
Yeah. Where does he go?
Yeah. And I love this question. Is there any chance? No, not that one. But Jimmy, you're right. Could come back.
Yeah.
Could they swerve us and have Bryan into Mania as champion? Obviously, this could always happen. Never say never in wrestling, but I would not put money on it.
No, I don't think so. I think Roman has been built so much that to have Bryan win doesn't make sense. Or
walk out as champion.
Yeah.
Because he could win by count out.
Mm-hmm.
He could win by DQ.
Yeah.
So we could actually see Bryan win the main event, but not the title.
And there's many ways how Bryan could get added to the match for Mania. If Edge interferes, that causes the DQ, and then boom, he's in, or if he beats Roman. I mean, definitely, if he walks out as champion, he's added to the match. But
and do you think they add to this match because they want star power? Do you think they add to the match because they realize they have nothing else for Daniel Bryan? Or is there a possibility they could add Bryan to this main event because they're worried that Edge can't go a championship WrestleMania match? That we love Edge, but we tend to forget he was gone for quite some time.
Yeah.
He's in phenomenal shape, but that's different than ring rust. That's different from, the conditioning in the ring. And you would hope that this match goes 20, 30 minutes.
You would hope so. Yeah.
And can Edge do that in a not edited piece?
And that's, I don't know.
Not a pre-taped match like he had at last WrestleMania.
I mean, which is funny because you could say the same things about Daniel Bryan. Like, I mean, he wasn't gone as long, but he was gone. And he has been more active than Edge. But still, he went out with an injury for years. So, I mean, any match, Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Sting, every time they take a bump, I still go, ugh. Like, I don't care how long they've been wrestling since. I still go,
So all it takes is one bad bump, and that's anybody at any time.
It is, but
and sometimes it's not even the bad ones. I mean, going back to WCW when Sid Vicious jumped off the second rope and snapped his bone in his leg.
Yeah,
and all it was a simple hop off the rope. Is all it was. So.
Yeah.
It's always interesting, when that happens. But you're right. I always cringe when you see that. Oh, come on, Sting, stop that. Except for Goldberg. If he takes a bump, I'm fine with it. I worry when he bumps others.
Yes.
Or when he bangs his head against a locker room door before the match starts.
Knocks himself unconscious. Yeah.
I'm going to call Daniel Bryan to win, but not the belt.
Ooh. I'm going to call Roman to win flat out.
Yeah. So, and there's picks that people think Daniel Bryan's going to win the title because Edge will screw Roman. Maybe. I've never understood that pro wrestling logic. Like when Kyle O'Reilly cost Adam Cole the belt last week. It's almost like you'd want them to win the belt. So this way, when you as the confident superstar know you can beat that guy, you'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to be the next champ then.
Yeah, exactly.
So Daniel Bryan winning because Edge screwed Roman is a little weird for Edge, but it's WWE. It's pro wrestling.
True.
Yeah. So we'll see if they announce more. Of course, we're doing this before SmackDown. So there could be more officially added, or maybe the outlook will be a little bit clearer coming out of Friday's show. But we will have the predictions up once we get a final card on the socials of @Wrestling Audio. Will you be watching the show?
I mean, I might. Probably. I mean, I'm not doing anything this weekend, so I have no reason not to watch it. That's
the spirit. You gotta send off the WWE network properly by falling asleep on the couch during Fastlane.
That'll be my Sunday right there.